That's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our first 2023 Family Table. We welcome you and we thank you for taking some time out this evening to be with us. I'd like to introduce our administrative team to you. I am Judy Adams. I'm the principal of Accokeek. Our K through 2 administrator is Miss Crook. Miss Crook, you want to say a few words?
Hi, good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming out this evening.
Thank you, Ms. Crook. Our 3, 4, and half of 5 administrator is Ms. Morphew.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Nice to see you. My name is Beth Morphew, and I'm happy to have you all join us this evening and taking the time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you, Ms. Morphew. Our 7th grade administrator, Ms. Akia Payne. Ms. Payne.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're looking forward to a rewarding evening.
Thank you, Ms. Payne. And our 8th grade administrator, Mr. Donald King.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
All right, we're going to get started. So we want to start with celebrations because we have a lot to celebrate at Accokeek Academy. And I thought we would start with a little glimpse of inside the building for our celebration of Black History Month and our campus-wide door decorating contest. So you're going to see a short video of what that was like. We wanted to give you a glimpse of this school-wide opportunity. It started with our kindergartners and went all the way to 8th grade. So all of our students participated. And I want to give special recognition to Dr. Richards as she spearheaded this and really kept us on task, as well as keeping the competition going. Thank you, Ms. Crook, for getting parent involvement and having parents to vote on those doors. So we thank you. And our winner, Ms. Crook, was
Mr. Guzman was our first place winner. Yay.
thank you, and thank you all. A special shout out to teachers for getting their students really interested in decorating those doors. Thank you so much, and putting that in the forefront of students' minds. So we thank you.
And we would also like to congratulate our 8th grade students. We received our PSAT 8-9 results, and we did have perfect scores from one of our scholars, and our overall scores, we outperformed the PG County and the state of Maryland and the whole United States. So we did an amazing job. And, you know, although it's 8-9, it takes all teachers in all grade levels to build up to that test. So congratulations to all of our 8th grade scholars.
Yay.
Awesome.
Also, we would like to congratulate our boys basketball team. They went to the county championship game and won. So congratulations to them, and great job to all of our coaches and all of our students, staff, and parents that supported the team.
Absolutely. I just want to add one thing. This is the first year that we have a student who received a perfect score on a PSAT 8-9. That is fabulous. So congratulations.
As we continue our celebrations, the middle school band, under the auspices of Ms. Deborah Whitfield, their assessment score, they scored a superior, which is the highest possible score. And they were in the top 5 of 20 middle schools that actually participated. So kudos to Mrs. Whitfield. She is always, our middle school band always wins. Like, I don't think I've been here and she's been in that capacity, and they have not won at least outstanding or superior. So kudos to Ms. Whitfield for that. Also, our STEM Fair and NHD Fair projects are moving on to county competition. So the STEM Fair this year is the 75th annual, and the theme was creating a sustainable world through STEM. And Mr. Mark McGalloway is our STEM Fair coordinator, and this year we have 6 students moving on to county. That the STEM Fair will be held on March the 18th at Charles Flowers High School. Now regarding the NHD National History Day Fair, we have 9 students in middle school that would participate in. The theme this year were Frontiers in History. That the NHD will be held on March the 11th at Benjamin Tasker Middle School. And that NHD is governed by Mrs. Dia Mateer, our Social Studies Department Chair. But I want to give thanks to all the science teachers, all the social studies teachers, and middle school as a whole for even rearranging their schedules to allow for the students to participate and to, have their projects looked at and voted on by the, well, not voted on, judged by the teachers to go to this next feat. And so for NHD, we're looking for another national winner. We are doing great things at Accokeek Academy.
All right, and continuing with our celebrations, our PTSA, they just hosted a District 9 Parent Summit. So that means it was not just representatives from Accokeek Academy, but from all over District 9, and it was held at Accokeek this past Saturday. We had our Director of Equity and Excellence. He was a speaker on the LGBTQ community and how that is also affecting our students. We also had someone from student support, and then our very own Mr. Triggs, who was our professional school counselor for 3rd and 4th grade. He spoke on mental health. We had our Director of PG Safety and Security, Mr. Cunningham. And then we also had someone from the IT department who spoke on student safety for technology. So we had a great turnout. I'm looking forward to more of these events, and I'm definitely looking forward to more of our Accokeek community participating, because there was a wealth of knowledge in the room that day. We also had our K-8 in-school spelling bee, and we have our 8th grade winner who will represent Accokeek on Friday, March 17th at the University of Maryland, and that will be held at 6:30. So if you are able, come on out so that you can support our scholar in the National Spelling Bee.
Yes.
And we also have our K-5 Science Bowl competition. This is new this year. PG County has a Science Bowl, but our primary students do not get a chance to participate in that bowl. So I'm very excited to see our kindergarten, 1st and 2nd graders who get a chance to participate in our in-school Science Bowl, and that will be held on March 20th through the 23rd. And parents, you will receive more information, and you will have a chance to come and watch the Science Bowl.
Okay, so more celebrations. So I would like to say congratulations to our students who made 2nd quarter honor roll. We had a total number of 981 honor roll recipients for 2nd quarter. I think that's a phenomenal number of students. They did an amazing job 2nd quarter. If we even broke it down even further, we had 636 that made honor roll and 345 principal honor roll recipients. I think that's totally amazing. So congratulations to all of those recipients. I'd also like to announce that for 3rd quarter, we are going to have in-person honor roll assemblies. I know we've missed that connection of having our parents here and present with us to celebrate that. So we will not be in Zoom for our honor roll assemblies the coming 3rd quarter. We will see you in person, so you'll be able to see those students and your child receive their certificate in person. So we're looking forward to that as well. We also have coming up on March 30th at 6:30 p.m. our Women History Month Women in Wax. So that's for grades 3 through 8. Our students will be dressed up in attire of famous women in history, and they'll be learning, and you'll be able to learn different aspects of that woman's life or that woman's history in their life. And they'll come out, they'll be that women in wax. You'll come see them in performing for you live in action. And it's an amazing performance. You learn a lot, the students learn a lot, and they're thoroughly engaged in their performance. So please take the time to come out and see them perform. I think you'll be amazed at how much you learn, not only about the woman, but to see the students in action and how much they've accomplished in learning that person in their history.
All right. The purpose of our meeting tonight, we wanted to celebrate and tell you some of the great things going on at Accokeek, but we also want to talk about the Maryland School Report Card. So the Maryland School Report Card was the result of ISSA, which is Every Student Succeeds Act. That was the replacement act for No Child Left Behind. As a result of that, all states had to hold schools accountable. And this is the accountability system for all schools in the state of Maryland.
So the Maryland Accountability System was derived in response to the ESSA. And so what they do is they look at the school performance data in multiple components, and we'll talk about that on the next slide, but it varies between elementary, middle, and high school. So this data is used and it creates the school report card for every public school. And then it shows points earned for each component area and a total earned point score. So the total earned point score is derived from the total number of points earned by that school divided by the total number of possible points. And then this final score is used to rank the schools using a 5-star system. The last time that we had a Maryland report card, a school report card, my apologies, was 2 years, 17 through 18, and then 2018 and 2019, just prior to the pandemic. So let's look at the different components of the Maryland school report card. So academic achievement, just exactly what it is. Student proficiency and the average performance levels on the state standardized assessments in math and English language arts. And our standardized assessment that is used is the MCAP. The academic progress is the student performance growth from the previous year from the previous year on the state standardized assessments in English and math as well. The report card for this year, from last year, they looked at the fall MCAP of 2021 compared to the spring MCAP scores of 2022. I don't know if you all remember, but if your child was in 3rd grade last year, they took a fall MCAP, and then at the end of the year, we took the spring. And so that's what the comparison, to see the academic progress between those two assessments. And then also the percentage of students earning credit in coursework. This particular coursework is science in grades 5 and 8th grade only. You also have our progress in achieving for English language learner proficiency. And these are the students who are ELL students and how they are on track to proficiency. And last but not least, school quality and student success. Basically attendance, students who attend school regularly and they took part in the well-rounded curriculum in the school survey. So actually it's a combination of attendance, well-rounded curriculum, and then the school survey points.
So here's the actual breakdown that Ms. Payne discussed. And so you can take a real close look at what those possible points are. So academic achievement is worth 20 points. That's the actual scores of performance on the test. And then the actual academic progress is where the greater points are. And that is they're measuring student growth. So are students moving from where they are to the next level? And that's how those points are achieved. And so that growth is important no matter where they start, but our goal is for all children to grow. And then finally, the well-rounded curriculum, which Ms. Payne mentioned, is English, math, science, and social studies. Is talking about whether or not those students were registered and passed those courses. The English language proficiency is worth 10 points. And then you see that chronic absenteeism is 15 points. That means that if your child is absent for 10% or more of school, that child is counting against us as a school. So if you look at each quarter of school, it's about 45 days. And so 4 days absent makes that child chronically absent. The other points come from the Maryland Climate Survey. That's where they survey about the school and what the feelings are with students, parents, teachers, and administration. Next slide.
Okay, so the elementary school report card. As you see here, this is a sample of an elementary school report card. Number one, it lists the indicators, and Ms. Payne had called them the components, which are the academic achievement, the academic progress, progress in achieving English language learners, and then our school quality and student success. So they give you a total possible points. For elementary, we have a total of 20 points. Then you have your academic progress, 35. Dr. Adams has said earlier, our English language proficiency learners is 10 points, and then the school quality is 35. Then it tells you how much you earned. So how much our school earns, they give you the points of how much they earned. They want to give you an annual target score. As you see on the far right, it's number 5 with the little arrow there. That's your annual target. They give you a check or an icon telling you whether or not you made it or not. You'll get a green check saying, yes, we made it, an NA if it's not applicable for us, or an X saying we did not make the target. So the next part is the improvement. We want to see growth. We definitely want to see the growth for the next assessment that they take from year to year. So looking at that, you see that we have checks on that sample report card here, except for we did not have growth for the academic progress because there was an NA before, but they had improvements to be made, but it wasn't relevant for this area because there was an NA before, so they put an X there. And then they made the targets for the other 2 areas, which was student success and the English language learners. At the top, you see the report card gave them a 4-star rating. A 4-star rating, if any school receives a percentage score between 60% and 74%, they will earn 4 stars. 5 stars would be anything from a 75% or above, which would be the total score for your school out of a top, possible 100%.
This is an example of a middle school report card. The elementary and middle school report cards, the indicators are the same. The only difference is what criteria is used. For example, for 8th grade, for middle school, it's based on the number of grade 8 students who passed math, reading, science, and social studies, and proficiency on the MCAP MISA, which is done in 5th and 8th grade, but the 8th grade will go towards the middle school report card. Also, 8th grade enrolled in specific courses, such as PE, fine arts, health, and computational learning. And if you look at the top right, it shows the percentile rank. The percentile rank is where the school ranks within schools in the whole state of Maryland. Otherwise, it's the same as the elementary school report card. And if you look at the look at the report card, this one has 70% total earned points. So when you go to the star rating, that school again would have received 4 stars. But a school, for an example, if they received 50 earned percent, they would be in the 3-star range. And another example is if a school had 82%, they would be in the 5-star range. So this is how the stars are awarded and what the total percent earned categories are.
The parents, I know it sounds like a lot of information, but what's important for you to know as a parent is that the school report card, it's only a snapshot of the school quality. There are many factors that influence the score on the school report card. The school report card should not be used as the definitive measure for teaching and learning, because as you heard, there's a lot of celebrations, a lot of great teaching and learning that takes place at the school on a daily basis. So what are we doing? Prince George's County this school year stated that mathematics is a goal across the board. So at Accokeek, it is also one of our SMART goals. So what we are doing, we started implementing the math problem of the week, and this is across the board. For all students. We also have a math intervention after school program for grades kindergarten through 6th grade. And we are looking at expanding the tutoring and enrichment programs. We're also supporting our new educators, our new teachers. They each have a mentor, and that mentor is a veteran teacher. And then we're doing a lot of celebrating of our student achievement. particularly honor roll assemblies. We had ABC parties, and also our PBIS.
So we were surprised today when they announced that the star rating would roll out for all schools. We were originally told a later date, so our timing is perfect. We received our star rating this morning, and our rating is the same as it was before. We are still a 4-star school, and our results only went down a couple of points, which we expected given the pandemic for the past 2 years. But we are very, very proud of the fact that our students continue to achieve. The areas with which we were successful was academic progress. And again, that was our goal. All teachers are held accountable for student growth, every student growing from where they were to moving forward. And that's what our expectation is. And so we made each one of those categories in middle and in elementary. The other great a success for us was our English language learners. They improved and also met their annual target. We had such a large number of students coming out of ESOL and being very, very successful. So we are extremely excited about their success. And then school quality and student success, which we talked to you about before, we have improved. And so we made improvements in elementary. We didn't quite make that number in middle school, but it was very close. So we're very excited to have maintained this star rating and be able to celebrate with you this evening. So thank you all for your contributions, because we don't do this work without you. You entrust us every day with your children. And so we appreciate our partnership with you. So how can you assist us? Attendance matters. The parent that asked the question with regard to chronic absenteeism, you're absolutely right. It's all absences, not just those that are unexcused, unfortunately. And so attendance matters. I did want to make a little clarification there that chronic absenteeism is 10% of all school days at the end of the year. So you could, we always have a larger number in one quarter, and then that student starts to come to school because they were probably sick that month, and then they start to come to school and they come off of that chronic absent list. But please, please, attendance does matter. Tardies matter. So we're asking you to be real cognizant of your child's attendance. We're not asking you to send your child to school sick. We're not asking you to do that, but just be cognizant of them coming to school. We'd also like to ask you to review the Student Rights and Responsibilities Handbook. Our students need to be reminded of what their responsibilities are, but also what their rights are, because we're trying to raise great citizens. And so learning to advocate for themselves is an important part of their growth. Encourage them to complete assignments, whether it's during class, which is the one that the teacher is right there to provide assistance. And so we have been really surprised by the number of assignments that students do not finish in class. Really, that's the time that they can do that. Also, to share the importance of the test. These tests do represent who we are. Is test the only category? No. But it's an important category. And so they really need to know how important these tests are. Just as an example for PSAT, it is so important that that's how high school selections are determined. If you're not competitive in that PSAT score, then you don't have the capability to go to many of our specialty high schools. We also ask that if your child is struggling and not a part of our tutoring program, that you consider online tutoring that is available from the county free of charge. So please look into that. We also ask for volunteers now. Our doors are open again. Parents, you are encouraged to come and volunteer. We obviously need help in a lot of categories, so please call your grade level administrator or myself so that you can volunteer. And then finally, our partner with parents is PTSA. So we definitely ask you to join and be a part of that voice, because there's many things that come up and they're asking immediately, what's the PTSA think about it? So you become an important voice, just like that chronic absenteeism issue. That's something that the PTSA can advocate for.
And Dr. Adams, I just wanted to mention that a lot of this information you're sharing is on our Accokeek Academy website. Our website just moved to a new platform. So if you haven't been to it recently, please check out our website and check out all the different pages. It's currently being updated frequently because it has moved to the new platform.
Thank you, Mr. King. And Mr. King is our webmaster and has done a tremendous job in ensuring that that information is current and valuable to you. So please, we encourage you to go there once a week to see what's going on in our community. So how can you assist with math? Math is our priority. Math is the most difficult subject we have when it comes to state testing. Our teachers call us a reading school. I don't mind being called a reading school. However, we also need to take math into consideration because math is the future. What we hear about all the time is STEM, and STEM is mathematics because you solve problems through the use of mathematics. So we encourage you to pass encouragement to your child. Applaud their progress and their effort, not their solution. If they are struggling through a problem, that's a good thing. Encourage them by their effort and their progress. And then encourage them to look at that problem again. And that's important. We teach kids all the time to look at that problem again and reread it. So encourage them to do that. And then explain the problem in their own words. So when they're struggling with something and ask you a question, have them to reread it and then tell you in their own words what they think is going on in the problem. And then have them model it, have them do a drawing. Also, use whatever's in the house to use as manipulatives. We do it all the time, pennies, cards, whatever it takes for them to see what's going on in that problem. And don't answer the questions for them. Ask them thought-provoking questions like why? Why are they doing that? Why is this going on in the problem? And how can we show this on the paper? There are problems on these tests that really want to know their thinking, not their answer. They want to know their thinking. And then this is the big one. Please don't share your negative feelings about math with your students. I wasn't good at math, so I understand you not being good. That's a flag that says, scholar, don't even work hard in math, work hard in everything else. We have got to move our kids in mathematics for the future. Their jobs in the future are going to depend on their ability to do math calculations, math understanding, and solving real world problems. Reading. This graphic was given to me by a teacher today, Mr. Bennett, our 7th grade reading teacher. And I thought it was a great graphic of what happens when you have your children to read just 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day will allow your children to grow and be exposed to so many more words than they would if they weren't reading. So we encourage you to start with 10 minutes if they haven't. Make a child sit down and read for 10 minutes. Read with them for 10 minutes. Read something they're interested in for 10 minutes. Read a comic book, read a sports magazine, read the newspaper. I know they're harder to get, but please read something that they would be interested in. And as this chart shows, look at the percentile rank of standardized tests that happens to students when they read 10 minutes a day. Not only their exposure to words, but also their success in standardized tests. And I know that standardized tests can be, another test, but unfortunately our world is about accountability, and accountability comes with test taking. I've got a lot of high school, former middle schoolers that are in high school talking about the tests that they have to take in order to get into the college of their choice. So we really need to prepare our children back in 3rd grade that it's important and that it makes a difference. Any other sharing we want to do with regard to math and reading, team? All right, next slide. So there are going to be many more informational sessions with regard to the Maryland School Report Card, but with PGCPS, and there will be live meetings as well. So if you go to the website, you'll see more about it. And also, if you go to the mdreportcard.org site, it is up and running. You can click on it, then click on Prince George's County Public Schools, click on Accokeek Academy. We fall down under combined schools, they call us. And you'll be able to see all the details of our score, our star rating. So with that said, any last final words from anyone? Well, we thank you for your presence this evening. We appreciate you. If there are any additional questions in the chat, Ms. Payne, are there?
No, there are not.
Okay. Well, we thank you for your attendance. And please, we have been recording tonight, and so we will post that on our website for anybody that would like to hear more about Accokeek Academy and what's going on. Thank you again, and thank you so much for being a part of our Accokeek Academy family. Have a great evening.
The silence is quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe.